What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Rage C podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So today, guys, I want to speak to you about the fight between Islam Makhachev against della Maddalena. Now, that fight, I really thought it was going to be a competitive match because I saw how Jack went up against Bilal Muhammad, and I really thought he was going to give him a fight just like that, but it never happened. Man, Islam Makhachev, that dude is just that great. There's just probably no way for anybody to stop him because he always mostly goes for the takedowns and keeps his opponents actually there. I don't know, man, if anybody can really stop him. And even his punches as well. It's very underrated. I feel like when he punches somebody, they do get affected. It's very underrated, to be honest. Not many people think that his punches do a lot, but yeah, they kind of do. He does have a little bit of dynamite in his hands, but his bread and butter is usually just taking down his opponents, and that's how he kept Jack the whole time on the ground most of the time. And Jack Della Maddalena, he did not have any answer against him, which did suck because I thought he was gonna have at least some chance of actually going up against freaking Islam Makhachev, but no, man. I really thought it was gonna be a competitive match, to be honest. Just like how Jack went up against Bilal Muhammad, but nah, man. Islam is just another type of beast, man. Well, since he did win against Jack, now he has the welterweight champion. Yeah, he just moved to the welterweight division, and the welterweight division, it says right here, it is about from 156 to 170 pounds. Yeah, that is the weight limit for the UFC if you're in the welterweight division. Now for the lightweight division, 145 to 155 pounds. That was the class that he was before this fight, the lightweight division. And now people really want him to actually fight Ilia Topuria. But Ilia Topuria has announced that he's not going to fight in the beginning of the year because of personal reasons. I get it. I understand it. But for Islam Makhachev, for his next opponents, people are thinking that maybe it could be Kamaru Usman. Now, Kamaru Usman, I started watching him around in the early 2020s when he went up against Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington as well. And I saw somewhat of that fight between him and Leon Edwards. Before actually Leon Edwards, not a lot of people have taken him down. And I believe he still has a great chance of actually beating Islam Makhachev. As long as he doesn't take him to the ground, I feel like he could do fine. But I slightly believe that maybe Islam Makhachev might win. I feel like maybe he's gonna be the betting favorite to win this fight, to be honest, against Kamaru Usman. Even though he's still a great fighter, Kamaru Usman, there's still a good chance that maybe Islam Makhachev might actually beat him. Islam Makhachev, he's just only lost one time in the UFC. Well, maybe it was before he actually got in the UFC, but ever since, man, he has been beating everybody. He has been beating everybody by decision win, by submission. He has actually KO'd people as well. So he's good, man. He's just that good. You don't know how he's going to actually beat his opponents. He beat Volkanovski, I think, in the very first fight. It was by decision win. The second one, it was a knockout out of nowhere. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought he would have KO'd Volkanovski? on their second fight. Well, for that fight, I feel like Volkanovski should not have taken that fight because, to be honest, that fight he wasn't really prepared as much as he was for the very first fight. It was just like an out of nowhere fight for him, and yeah, I think it was a bad idea. I think he should have had a whole camp just to fight him, but he didn't. He only had a couple of days because, like, I think his other opponent that he was gonna fight, I think he got injured somehow. I'm not really sure what happened to Islam Makhachev's opponent before he fought Volkanovski the second time. But Volkanovski wasn't going to be the original person fighting Islam Makhachev for their second fight. Yeah, it was just a late thing they did, and it sucks that Volkanovski got the loss against him by a KO. And then right after that, dude, Volkanovski he got KO'd again against Ilia Topuria. And they called him out, but Ilia Topuria, he has been KOing almost every single person, or almost every single major person that's been in the UFC. Like he has KO'd at least Volkanovski once, Max Holloway, and he has also KO'd Charles Oliveira. Now these three guys, maybe someday they're going to be in the Hall of Fame, and yeah, it just sucks that they did get KO'd. Now for Ilia Topuria just to take some time off and to focus on his family, that's good news, man. That's awesome because family comes first before anything else. Volkanovski is actually going to fight Diego Lopez next. I'm not really sure much about Diego Lopez. Like, I feel like that guy, I feel like he's very underrated. Not many people know of him. Well, maybe like just the hardcore fans, but like, as for me, I feel like I'm somewhat of a casual to a hardcore fan. I just really haven't seen much of his fights recently, but I did see him fight against Volkanovski. I feel like that fight was okay. It did win a decision for Volk. Now they're going to fight once again. There's a good chance maybe he could get a KO win against Volkanovski because lots of people, like lots of experts, believe that Volk he's just not really as good as he was before. Now I don't really know much about that. There could be a potential chance that maybe he's just not as great, but I feel like he's still not a that like wash. Like, I feel like he's still a good fighter. As at this moment right now in time, Alexander Volkanovski, he is the featherweight champion. There's a good chance that maybe he'll beat Diego Lopez once again. Yeah, there's still a good chance that he's just still at a good level. It's just that Ilia Topuria's, man, his punches, they're like dynamite, to be honest. And I think that's why Volkanovski cannot have handled his punches at all. And plus, like, he is getting older, but he's still a good fighter. Maybe he could still get a win against Diego Lopez. I need to research more how Diego Lopez fights, to be honest, because I've only seen just one fight of his, and it was against Volk. But let's see how it goes. Let's see how that fight actually goes. And they're actually going to fight around January. But going back to Islam Makhachev, his next opponent, and like I said, it could be Kamaru Usman. That could be his next opponent, and that could be a good fight, to be honest. Islam might have trouble against Kamaru Usman, depending on how the fight actually goes. If that fight actually just only them just punching each other, then there's a potential chance that maybe Kamaru Usman might actually win. But if Islam actually takes the fight to the ground, then there could be a chance that he might have a lot more control time against Kamaru Usman, and yeah, there's still a good chance that maybe he could get a submission win or a decision win. But mostly, it could go to a decision win for Islam Makhachev, to be honest. depending on how Kamaru Usman shows up for this fight. Now, the next thing I want to speak to you about, it is not like about real combat sports related, but it is about the sports movie, you know? They have mentioned for the Creed verse, for the Creed franchise. It says right here, Michael B. Jordan says they are developing a Creed spin-off TV show about Adonis' daughter. He says right here, you'll be seeing different parts of the Creed verse, I like to call it. That's what Michael B. Jordan has stated. Now for that to actually go on and made as a, as a own Creed verse, like he says, I think it could be a good idea. But as a TV show, I don't know, man. As a TV show, a lot of things can go wrong with TV shows because we have experienced that a lot with TV shows lately. Like, for example, Stranger Things. Like, they always take a very long time actually creating these episodes, and maybe you'll have it at least like 2 years later. Season 2 might actually come out. Maybe there is gonna be like a time skip, because I highly doubt it they're actually gonna wait for the actual actress, the one that comes out on the Creed 3 movie, to actually grow up to be this boxer. I feel like there is going to be a time skip. Maybe it could be good, but I don't know, man. As a TV show, no, I don't think it's gonna work. But as a movie, there's potential right there for it to be good. But let's see how that goes, though. Creed, like those movies, to be honest, have been great. I like the very first one. The second one, I feel like maybe it could have been a little bit better. And the third movie, now that one was a banger. That one was actually good. It just sucks what happened with the actor who played as the villain. But yeah, that movie was actually pretty good, man. I like the third movie, but nah, I feel like the very first one, it was just better, a tiny bit better, than the actual third movie. Good movies, but that one's still way better than the Creed 3. Michael B. Jordan has been on the road, dude. This guy, the Sinners movie, for me, I didn't much enjoy that movie. To be honest, it was fine. But like a lot of people, and also the critics all around the world, they actually love this movie. The critics love it. And lots of people who went to go see this movie, they love this movie as well. And that's great. That's great news for him. And also the people who created Sinners. There could be a potential second movie for the movie. There could be a potential sequel for that film. But I feel like maybe it could just be left by itself, To be honest, not everything needs a sequel, and Sinners is one of those movies, to be honest. It doesn't really need a sequel. That's just my opinion, I feel like it could be the end of the whole, quote unquote franchise maybe they'll try to make. Yeah, Sinners, to be honest, it doesn't really need a sequel. But, Hollywood, they'll try to make anything like that becomes huge box office a sequel or have a spin-off, And maybe there's potential that there could be another one. I feel like it ended just right. Like, it doesn't need a potential sequel. But we'll see what Hollywood will make of it. And yeah, guys, that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you guys did enjoy this podcast, make sure to follow it and also recommend it to a friend or a neighbor that actually likes listening to stuff about combat sports and anything horror related. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do. And yeah, guys, that is it. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.